Hey guys, welcome back everybody. Hope you all are doing great. Guys, today in this video we are going to troubleshoot this network. So as you can see, this is my topology and there is some problem in this network. So we are going to troubleshoot that. See the issue guys, what is issue? So recently an engineer designed and configured this network, but then PC3 and PC4 are not able to get IP address from DHCP server. You need to troubleshoot this issue. Okay, so you can see here I have two building in my topology, building 1 or building and building 2. So you can say this is a network of a small company or a network of a college where we have two buildings, right? Building 1, building 2. In building 1 we have one LAN, local area network, and in building 2 we have one another LAN, that is, let's say, LAN 2. We can say this is LAN 1, local area network 1, local area network 2, and both building are connected together through routers. We have router 1 here and router 2. Okay, so in my scenario there are two routers, router 1 and router 2. Router 1 is, you can say, the edge router for building 1, router 2 is the edge router for building 2. Fine guys, after that, in building 1 we have some users in VLAN 10 and we have some users in VLAN 20. In the same way, in building 2 we have some users in VLAN 10 and we have some users in VLAN 20. And router 1 is my DHCP server. Okay, so DHCP services is running on router number 1, and router 1 is providing IP addresses to all the users of VLAN 10 as well as VLAN 20. And guys, the subnet which we are using for VLAN 10 is 192.168.10.0/24, and for VLAN 20 we are using this subnet 192.168.20.0/24. Okay, now without wasting our time, let's begin. First of all, we are going to verify the problem that really PC4 and PC5, PC3 and PC4 are not able to get IP address from DHCP server. Before that, I am going to check IP on PC1 first. Let me take you to PC1, and here to configure IP, say IP DHCP DORA. Even PC1 is not able to get IP address over here. PC1 is also not able to get IP address from DHCP server. Let me do one thing. Let me take you to router number 1 and let me verify the DHCP configuration, guys. So IP DHCP pool. So yes, we have a pool DHCP pool 10, VLAN 10, and DHCP pool VLAN 20. Okay, correct, configuration is correct. So run section DHCP. So DHCP configuration look like fine, like IP DHCP pool VLAN 10 network 192.168.10.0, 255.255.255.0. This is correct network for VLAN 10, and default router is 192.168.10.1. This is also correct. For VLAN 20 we have VLAN 20 pool, and then we are running this network 192.168.20.0/24. This is also correct, and default gateway is also correct. Then why PC are not able to get IP address? PC1 is not able to get IP address from DHCP server. So IP interface brief exclude unassigned. Let me check the IP configuration over here. So yes, you can see on fast Ethernet 0/0.10, this is sub interface, guys. This is sub interface for VLAN 10, and here you can see the IP 192.168.10.1. This is fine. Line protocol is up. Okay, and this interface is also sub interface for VLAN 20, where I'm running this IP address 192.168.20.1. So this IP address is going to be default gateway for all users of VLAN 20. Okay, apart after that, here if PC1 is not able to get IP address from DHCP server from router number 1 and pool is already configured, IP address is correct, then you should check what, guys? You should check connectivity between switch 1 and router. Like this link should be trunk link, right? Means here you need to configure this port should be trunk port, and the native VLAN should be same both side. So here I am going to check what encapsulation protocol I am using, and on the sub interface, then we will verify the encapsulation protocol on the trunk port of switch 1. So let me do one thing on router number 1. I am going to run command show run interface f0/0.10. Show me the running configuration of this interface. Okay, so here guys you can see encapsulation protocol is .1q .1q. Okay, IP address is correct. Okay, now let me take you to switch 1. Go to switch 1, and on switch 1 config t, let me set the host name first, switch 1, and do right, then do show interface trunk. Oh, we don't have trunk link here. Let me do one thing, go to interface E0/0 and say switch port trunk encapsulation .1q and switch port mode trunk. Then let me verify the VLAN configuration. So VLAN brief. Okay, so VLAN is also not configured, guys. By default all interfaces are in VLAN 1, so that's why PC1 is not able to get IP address. Let me correct it first. Interface E0/1 and switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10 exit. Interface E0/2 say switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN 20. Done. Now show VLAN brief. Okay, you can see port number 0/1 means PC1 is in VLAN 10, PC2 0/2 interface is in VLAN 20, and so interface trunk. Now trunk is also fine. E0/0 is trunk. Here by default all VLANs are allowed, so you can configure only allowed VLAN 10 and 20 on this trunk link. Simply go to interface E0/0 and say switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10 20. That's it. Okay, now let me check PC1 is able to get IP address from DHCP server or not. So for that I am going to say IP DHCP and just wait for 30 seconds, because on switch guys SPANC protocol is running, and you can see now DORA process is working fine. This PC have got the IP address that is 192.168.10.2/24, and gateway IP address is 192.168.10.10. correct, right? Let me check this PC is able to ping gateway 192.168.10.1. yes, you can see this PC is able to ping gateway. Now let me configure IP on PC2, say IP DHCP here. Let me check DORA process is working fine here or not. Yes, DORA is working, and this PC have also got the IP address that is 192.168.20.2, means second IP address from the second subnet. Now guys let me check PC3. PC is really PC3 not able to get IP, so go to PC3 and say IP DHCP. So yes, you can see DORA is not working, right? This PC is not able to get IP address from DHCP server. So here also first of all I am going to verify switch configuration guys, and IP address configuration on router number 2. So let me take you to router 2 first, and then so IP interface brief. So IP on fast Ethernet 0/0 is 192.168.10.2. Guys, this IP address is running over here, and same IP address is assigned to PC1 as well. So that means DHCP is unknown about this IP address. So what I need to do, I need to exclude this IP address. As I am running this IP address on router 2 interfaces, I need to exclude this IP address from DHCP pool. So let me do one thing, go to switch 1, let me correct it first, say IP DHCP exclude address 192.168.10.1, which is running on router 1 interface, router 1 interfaces, router 1 interface, and this IP address running on router 2 interface. For VLAN 10 I have reserved 2 IP address. For VLAN 20 guys, in the same way I am going to reserve exclude 20.1 and 20.2. Now from the PC1 let me request for IP address. It will get correct IP address this time. IP DHCP, it should get .3, 10.3, 10.3 is fine. 192.168.10.2. Still it is getting 10.2, but 10.2 I have exclude this address from the DHCP. So run or so IP DHCP binding. Okay, let me say IP DHCP again. It is getting 10.2 only, but 10.2 is already running on .2. So run section DHCP exclude address. 10.2 is excluded here. Why DHCP is getting this IP address? Let me do one thing. Let me turn off this device and IP 192.168.10.50. Just and now IP DHCP. Let me try now. Still this machine is getting 10.2, right? And what about PC2 IP DHCP? This machine is also getting 20.2. So you know this is problem of guys simulation software, as these IP addresses are excluded from DHCP pool. DHCP server should not provide these IP addresses, but it is still providing. So I think this is problem of what EVNG simulation software. Okay, so manually here on PC1, let me do one thing. Go, let me turn off this device once, or on router number 1 say clear IP DHCP binding, then star. So IP DHCP binding, yes, we don't have any entry. I've cleared the binding table, and let me try to configure IP again guys on PC1 IP DHCP. Yes, this time you can see it is getting different IP address at 10.3. Now we'll do same thing on PC2 as well. Say IP DHCP once again, and this time this PC should also get 20.3 because 20.2 is already excluded, right? So you can see 20.3. Fine, now it's correct. Now let me take you to router number 2. And guys, on router number 2 you can see this is the IP address on VLAN 10 interface, this is the IP address on VLAN 20 interface. So run interface f0/0.10. here encapsulation protocol is .1q for VLAN 10 and .20. here also encapsulation protocol .1q for VLAN 20, correct? Let me take you to switch 2, and on switch 2 guys, so interface trunk host name switch 2 do so interface trunk. So we don't have any trunk link here. Interface E0/0 switch port trunk encapsulation .1q and switch port mode trunk. Fine. Then interface E0/1 switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN 10. Exit interface E0/2 switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN 20. E0/2 is in VLAN 20. Fine. So now VLAN configuration and trunk configuration is done. So VLAN brief. Okay. 0/1 is in VLAN 10, 0/2 is in VLAN 20, and so interface trunk and 0/0 is trunk, and by default all VLAN are allowed on the trunk link. So simply you can say allowed VLAN 10 and 20. Switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10 20. Okay, now let me try to assign IP on PC3, IP DHCP. Still this PC is not able to get IP address. So IP over here is, you can say 0.0.0.0/0. This machine is not able to get IP address from DHCP server. Now what is the issue? See, when PC3 will request for IP address, it will generate a discover message and that will be broadcast, right? It will forward to switch 2 on 0/1 interface. 0/1 is member of VLAN 10. It will forward to router 2. Switch will forward to router 2 from the trunk link, and it will add the tag of VLAN 10. So switch 2 is going to receive it on F0/0.10. And guys, on F0/0.10, IP helper address should be configured as DHCP is in different network. So go to router number 2 and let me check the helper address is configured or not. So run interface F0/0.10. So you can see here encapsulation protocol is there, IP addresses is there, and IP helper address is also there, guys. Helper address 192.168.10.1. Helper address is already configured, and on VLAN 20 interface here also you can see helper address is configured, and this is IP address of router 1, correct? Then what is the problem? So IP route problem is here, guys. See, you have configured what helper address? 192.168.10.1. So whenever router 2 will receive a discover message, it is going to change source and destination, right? IP addresses. It will set destination IP address 192.168.10.1 and source their on interface IP address, their on receiving interface IP address, that is 192.168.10.2. So source is going to be 192.168.10.2, destination is going to be 192.168.10.1. both are in same network, and this network is connected on which interface? So IP route. This network 192.168.10.0 is directly connected on fast Ethernet 0/0.10, right? So that means router 2 is not able to forward DHCP discover message to router number 1, right? Because in the routing table there is a the main network is running on their own interfaces, right? Main network is running on their own interfaces. So what router 2 is doing? Router 2 is checking this entry in the routing table, right? But if you want to forward traffic of 192.168.10.1 to router number 1, then what you can do, guys? You can add this IP address in the routing table, right? You can add this IP address in the routing table towards router 1. So let me do this. Go to config T and say IP route 192.168.10.1 255.255.255.255 and next of IP address 12.1.1.1, right? This time, so IP route, this time router 2 have this specific IP address in their routing table with /32, right? So guys, if destination is 192.168.10.1, router will compare this destination with routing table, and there are two match in their routing table, right? This destination, this IP address is matching in this entry also 192.168.10.0/24, and it's matching over here also 192.168.10.1/32. Here subnet length is 24, here subnet length is 32. So router is going to prefer this entry, this route, right? And it is going to forward traffic to router number 1. So this time when PC3 will request for an IP address, It will generate broadcast message. It will forward to switch. Switch will forward to router. Right, in the discover message, guys, source IP will be 0.0.0. Source IP address is going to be 0.0.0, and destination IP address is going to be what? 255.255.255.255. But when router 2 will receive this discover message, and as IP helper address is configured on receiving interface, router 2 is going to change source IP and destination IP. Now source IP address over in the discover message is going to be what? At router 2, source IP address is going to be 192.168.10.2. Right, they are on interface IP address, and destination IP address will be 192.168.10.1. Right, this time router 2 will check their routing table. So in their routing table, one route is available, this, it will forward traffic to router number 2. So now can PC3 get IP address, guys? Let me try. Let me say IP DHCP again to PC3, and you can see problem is still there. Now what is the problem this time? This time, you know what is the problem, guys? When router 2, see, when router 2 will change the source IP and destination IP in the discover message. Source IP 192.168.10.2, destination IP 192.168.10.1, and then router 2 is going to forward it to router 1, to R1. Right, when R1 will receive it, R1 will generate what? Reply, means but R1 will generate an offer message, as router 1 is DHCP server. So when router 1 will generate reply message, in the reply, means in the offer message, source IP address is going to be 192. Source IP address is going to be 192.168.10.1, and destination IP address is going to be what, guys? 192.168.10.2. and same thing is happening on router number 1. What? Router 1 have one match in the routing table, but that network is directly connected on fast Ethernet 0/0.10. See R1 routing table here. So IP route. So see, destination is 192.168.10.2. So this destination IP address will match over here in this entry 192.168.10.0/24, but this is directly connected with fast Ethernet 0/0.10. So on router number 1 also we have to inject this IP address, this destination IP address in the routing table, right? So what I can do, so I can say IP route 192.168.10.2, 255.255.255, and next hop IP address 12.1.1.2. Now PC3 can get IP address. Yes, it should. This time PC3 should be able to get IP address from DHCP server. Let me check. DORA, yes, you can see now DORA is working, and PC3 have got the IP address, that is 192.168.10.4. Now still there is some problem. You know what problem? Whoever designed this network and configured this network, they configure it incorrectly, because see, PC4 and PC1 both are in same network, right? Both are in same network. So how you will perform routing between router 1 and router 2? So even PC3 and PC4 will get IP address from the DHCP server, they cannot communicate with PC1 and PC2, right? They cannot communicate. Like PC3 can communicate with PC4 but not with PC1 and PC2. Got it? So PC3 got the IP address. Let me assign IP on PC4, IP DHCP. So PC4 will also not get IP address until and unless you will not configure the route, until and unless you will not inject the IP address in routing table of R1 and R2. So in the routing table of R2, what network I need to inject? IP route 192.168.20.2, 255.255.255.255, next hop 12.1.1.2. And guys, on router 2, what IP address I need to inject? IP route 192.168.20.1, 255 255 255 255. Next hop IP 12.1.1.1. Now PC4 can get IP address from DHCP server. See, done. IP address 192.168.20.4, and you can see this PC means PC4 and PC2 both are in VLAN 20 and both are using IP address from same subnet. So you will have issue while performing routing between R1 and R2, right? So we'll see guys how to troubleshoot this network, because still there is problem, right? So in next video we will understand the troubleshooting of this problem. Like now all PCs have IP addresses, and let me verify the connectivity. See, from PC1 I am going to ping PC2 first, means which is in VLAN 20. IP address of PC2 is, let me check IP of PC2. PC2 IP address is 192.168.20.3. Let me check PC1 is able to ping 192.168.20.3. Yes, you can see PC1 is able to ping PC2. Now let me check the IP address of PC3. PC3 IP address is 10.4. Let me check PC1 is able to ping PC3. Ping 192.168.10. What was the IP address? PC3 IP 10.4. 10.4. See, ping is not working. Again, to make reachability between PC1 and PC3, you have to configure IP address of PC1. You have to inject IP address of PC1 in the routing table of router 2, and you have to inject IP address of PC3 in the routing table of router 1. But you know, this is not practical. Like maybe in VLAN 10 there are 50 users, so we cannot add 50 IP addresses in the routing table of routers, right? In VLAN 20 also we have 50 user, or here also we have, let's say, 50 user, here also we have what, 50 user. So what is the solution of this? We'll see in next video guys. Before that, here you can do one more thing, like go to PC3 and verify the reachability between PC3 and PC4. So PC3 IP address is this one. We copy and let me ping it from PC4. Ping to this IP address. So you can see PC3 and PC4 both are able to communicate with each other. But can PC4 ping to PC1 or PC2? No. Ping 192.168.10.3. Not working. It will not work. Right? So still we have some problem in this network. Right? User are able to get IP address from DHCP server. They are able for intercommunication. Sorry, they are able for intra communication, but they are not able to communicate with, you know, remote devices, or you can say intercommunication. Intercommunication is not happening, working, right? So we'll see that troubleshooting guys in next video. If you have learned something from this video, please hit on like button. If you have any question, query, let me know in the comment section guys. And if you want more video like this, just type yes in the comment section. Just type I have learned something from this video. It will motivate me to make another videos. And if you will just type yes in the comment section guys, I will get to know you have learned something and you want more videos like this. So don't need to put large comment. If you don't have any question or query, definitely if you have query or questions, you have to share your question in comment section, right? We'll try to reply as soon as possible, or maybe we'll upload video on that topic as soon as possible. Okay, like this video is also user demand video. Few day back one of my subscriber had requested me to make this video, that's why I'm making this video. So if you want any video on any other topic, let me know in the comment section. Okay, and if you want more videos like this, just type yes in the comment section. Bye bye, that's all for today. We'll meet soon in next video. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye guys, that's all for today.